Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel AK Coding. In our system design tutorial series, today we'll discuss most important system design concept, that is how to design microservices boundaries. So let's dive right into it. You have 30 microservices. Kubernetes is running perfectly. Kafka is working. CI/CD is automated. And yet your system is nightmare to maintain. Why? Because problem is not at technology. The problem is that you created wrong microservices boundaries. In this video, I am going to show how exactly to decide where my one microservice ends and where another will begin. How to design microservices boundaries. Rule number first is split business capabilities. Let's suppose you have e-commerce system, order management, payment processing, inventory management, shipping, customer management. These are the business capabilities. It is not like controller, repository, databases, validation. These are the not business capabilities. For example, the order service should understand things like create order, cancel order, confirm order, calculate total order amount, track order status. The payment service should understand authorize payment, capture payment and refund payment. Each service should represent meaningful part of business capability, right? Rule number 2, high cohesion. Imagine your order service contains create order, cancel order, update order, order status, order pricing. These operations are highly related, so always keep these business capabilities into a single business unit, right? Rule number 3, that is low coupling. Let's suppose you have order service, payment service, inventory service, shipping service, notification service. If every service directly depend on another service and you don't have microservices, you have distributed mess. A good architecture try to minimize unnecessary dependencies, like order service will call to the payment service using any event based systems. Order service will call to the inventory service using any event based services like Kafka, ActiveMQ and RabbitMQ, instead of tightly coupling everything together. Rule number 4, that is data ownership. Here one of the most important rule in the microservices. The order service will connect to the order DB, payment service would connect to the payment DB, inventory service connect to the inventory database, and payment service should not directly modify the order database, and order service should not directly modify the payment database. Why? Because otherwise services would not truly independent. Rule number 5, that is transaction boundaries. Here is a powerful question you can ask when designing boundaries. What must changes together in one transaction? Suppose creating an order requires create order, reserve inventory, create payment. You might be attempted to put all three into one transaction, but across microservices these become complicated. Instead, you can design an eventual consistent workflow like order created, inventory reserved, payment authorized, order confirmed. Using event order created, inventory reserved, payment authorized. The important point is here microservices boundaries are strongly influenced by business transaction boundaries. Rule number 6, that is team ownership. Microservices are also organizational boundaries. Imagine one team owns order, payment, inventory, shipping, and another team owns customer and notification. A service should ideally have clear ownership. The team should able to develop, test, deploy, monitor, scale the services independently. That's awesome. This connect directly to the company law. Organizations tend to design system that monitor their communication structure. So don't design your architecture without considering who owns it. So whenever you are designing microservices boundaries, remember these 6 things. Number 1, business capabilities. What does this part of business actually do? Bounded context. Does this domain have its own language and rules? Data ownership. Who owns the data? Transaction boundaries. What need to be chained together? Team ownership. Who build and operate it? Coupling and cohesion are created independently or just network call. And here is a big lesson. A microservice not about creating small services. They are about creating independent business capabilities. A good microservice boundaries makes changes very easy. A bad boundary makes very hard to change. That's a great for the microservices boundary decisions. That's it. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more awesome tech insight video. See you next video. Until then, keep learning and stay curious.